order, please? And would we all rise to honor our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Yeah, we usually have two flags. Roll call, please. Hold you, I hate my. Yeah.
Okay. Miriam Cohen,
Present.
Tom Cole,
Here.
Gail Alpern, Karen Schoenberg, Larry Rosen, Sergi Sandu. Jay Respler is absent. Okay. Sean Swanger, Jamie Cullen, myself, Michelle Shanahan, and Monica Caterson.
Thank you all. May we have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 20th, 2023 meeting, please? Sorry. May I have a motion to please approve the minutes of the March 23rd meeting? Second on that,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Minutes are approved. And as is usual practice, once minutes are approved, they are posted on our website. Sean, financial report. He was sitting, he changed his seat. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We have draft financials from the first quarter, and to date, in WELA, there's a deficit of $70,000 with an anticipated budgeted deficit of $82,000. So we typically have a seasonal effect where it's not a straight line across. The expenses dip and revenue stays straight across, but expenses will have peaks and valleys. So we're in the middle of one of the peaks of expenses, which is typical for the first quarter. So again, we have a negative $70,000 deficit with an anticipated $82,000 deficit at this time of the year. In the condo, we have a $45,000 surplus with an anticipated $31,000 surplus. So from a budget perspective, we're a little bit ahead in the condo and slightly ahead in WELA. Again, all the financial reports, whatever you would need is available per request. We can get that for you within a couple days turnaround if you request. And so far, that's been pretty much it as far as I have an update on budget and finance a little bit later in the meeting.
The recreation report, please.
Morning. So we'll start with the shows. The next show is going to be May 21st. It's Roz Brown. She'll be with a trio. She's a singer and a comedian. We anticipate that to be really good. We'd like you all to come out and support that. On June 18th, our show is going to be an ABBA tribute. I anticipate that to be fabulous, as we've had them many years ago. And I think you would all really enjoy it. So make a note, on June 18th in the ballroom will be the ABBA tribute. We've managed to get the bus schedule for Atlantic City back on track. So we're booked up through September for the first Wednesday of each month. We've also talked to the bus company. I have tentatively scheduled a New York City bus also for August and September. So hopefully we'll be filling that bus. The one that we have going next is sold out. So if you continue to support that, we'll be able to go every month. The Yankee tickets will go on sale May 1st. I was so pleased to see the overwhelming response to going. So the first 2 days, no non-resident tickets. After that, on the 3rd, we'll start selling, because I did get a lot of requests from residents who want to bring a friend that doesn't live here. So I want to give our residents the first shot at it. And then after that, if it's you and you want to bring a friend, absolutely, you'll be able to do that. And you come to the concierge desk to sign up for that.
Monica, how much are the Yankee tickets?
$95. That's for the $40 for the bus and $55 for the ticket.
And maybe they'll win.
So we're planning a Memorial Day picnic. You can start signing up for that like right now. And the tickets for that will be $5. We're anticipating a big turnout. So I would get on that if you actually really want to do that. Just a reminder that in September will be the annual WOA's Arts and Crafts Fair. If you are a crafter and wish to participate in this, you can pick up an application at the desk and make arrangements to be part of the show. Let's see. We started working on New Year's Eve, so hopefully that'll be a success like it was last year. And other than that, I think that's about it.
Sounds good. Anyone on the board have a question for Monica now regarding that? Tom?
I do. One quick question, Monica. If we fill up one bus and get most of another bus filled, can we get two buses for the Yankee tickets?
I would have to see what I could do ticket wise.
Okay,
You know, I honestly don't know. And I would have to see if they could supply me with another bus.
fair enough.
Thank you, Monica. Okay, no. Jamie, please.
Sorry, we're still figuring out the feedback and the new microphone, so we did a little seat shuffle there. Okay,
out
so
some-
landscape updates, if you noticed, we are very happy that this year, as per our contract for WOA and the condos, black mulch has been installed. If you live in the condos, if you have rocks in your garden or red mulch, you will not get black mulch. So if you have red mulch and you think, oh, well, I want to go to black, you have to remove the red, and then going forward, they'll make sure to put the black mulch in for you. Right now, we still have the dianthus flowers that were planted in the fall. They'll be here until the summer flowers go in. That's usually the week after Mother's Day is kind of our time frame there for weather being acceptable. Irrigation was turned on for the entrances in the condos. It's ready to go. However, we're not running yet because we don't need it. We're expecting quite a bit of rain this week. Spring maintenance is taking place. They are painting curbs. So where the curbs are supposed to be yellow or white, you'll see the maintenance staff out painting curbs. Please be careful. They have had a few close calls while they were out there painting curbs. So just make sure you're keeping your eyes open for the workers. And reminders for home maintenance. If you live in Greenbrier and you need phone numbers for power washing for your home or driveway. A lot of people have been calling us for new numbers for their mailboxes that they want from resident services, things like that. Call us ahead of time. You will be receiving our friendly reminder letters. Please don't be offended. If you get a letter that you have microbial growth, you're one of hundreds of people who got the same letter. You will have a fair time frame. The letter asks that you call us within 14 days. We just want to hear from you that you scheduled it or you need phone numbers, and then you'll let us know when you're going to have it done. So just let us know. And another reminder for exterior modification applications. We have a lot of new homeowners that may or may not have attended homeowner orientation, and we have homeowners who maybe haven't done any work outside their home. You have to complete an application and it has to be approved by the committee for your association before you do any exterior work. So if you're going to change your shrub beds, you're going to change a tree, you're going to paint your doors, you have to call our office and see if you need to have an application done. We just want to avoid you getting any letters of violation or fines. It's just better to fill out the application. And for the condos, Garden State Gutters will be here cleaning all gutters within the condominium association beginning May 3rd. So it's weather permitting. They'll work their way through the entire condo association. For stormwater, just a reminder, I had mentioned this last year, we cannot spray the ponds for algae until about the second or third week in April. So they've all been sprayed now, but the algae started early because we had such a warm winter and such warm start to spring. So we did know about the algae, but legally, because of the DEP, we couldn't start spraying until after April 14th. So we are on top of it. Everything has been sprayed. The one fountain at the exit at the Prospect Plains entrance is off. It's off because it kept getting clogged with algae. So we'll turn it back on next week once the algae has died down. We are going through doing basin cleaning, any leaves or muck from the winter, we'll clean all of that out of the storm drains. And just a last reminder, we have so many wonderful pet owners here. Anyone who knows me here knows I love pets, I love dogs, but people are not cleaning up after their dogs. Not only are they not cleaning up after them, if they are putting it in bags, they're throwing the bags in the grass or in the storm drains. It's just
Wonderful.
very careless.
Wonderful.
Very, very important that you clean up after your pets. If not, all associations are going to start incurring additional expenses. A, your neighbors don't want to clean up dog poop off their grass. B, it's not fair to the other dog walkers because now everyone's looking at dog walkers as if they're all not cleaning up, and they are. But it's contaminating our ponds and it's littering the community. We don't have a hired person to walk around and clean up dog poop. If I have to now pay someone to do that, guess who pays for it? Everyone in this room, and that's not really fair. So fines will be imposed if we catch someone throwing their dog excrement or not cleaning up. So please, just in advance, make sure you have bags with you and that you're cleaning up after your pets. And that's it for me.
I'd like to add something to that. Everybody really knows better. It doesn't require us to tell everybody that they should clean up after their dogs. I don't get it, honestly, but if anybody here knows of people that are doing that, please report it because everyone should know better, period.
Well, can you, sir, can you wait till open forum, please? Can you wait till open forum, please? Thank you so much. Thank you. Under new business, the first item on the agenda, if you pick one up, was possible pedestrian walkway on Whittingham Drive. This is, oh, I hear someone like, oh, okay. We have been talking about pedestrian walkways on Whittingham Drive for a while, the crosswalks that would be required, et cetera, et cetera. So at our last executive session, so we would like to bring it to all of you to get some sense of whether people would like a pedestrian walkway. So that we have mapped out some potential sites for it and crosswalks, and they all come with certain yeses and nos. But I personally would like pedestrian walkways. We wanted to see, and so we come to open forum, we would really appreciate hearing, do you want pedestrian walkways? If you don't want them, why you don't want them? We would appreciate that a lot. Enhanced security features at the gate. If everyone hasn't noticed, we are incurring longer waits at the gate. I drove past this morning as I was coming down here and I said, we're out at the curb. Morning was always busy. What we did, I'm going to ask Jamie to state them so I don't leave anything out. We have increased the requirements at the gate for when people come up to get in. We had heard from many of our residents and that they were concerned about safety and that they wanted better set up at the gate to make sure that people just didn't, come through. The guard knows me and now I therefore can go through. Jamie, you want to list what we asked that the company do and also the number of how we have asked the company to please make sure that supervisor is here a whole lot.
So as you know, or may not know, Planned Companies has taken over the security services for the gatehouse. They retained all the guards that wished to stay. So the majority of the staff right now is guards that were here previously, and some have been here for more than 15 years. Ron did recently retire. We had a little gathering for him last week. So there'll be a few new faces out there that are getting trained right now. However, There are a lot of new residents in the community. There are also a lot of residents who maybe now that they are more senior, they want to know that that extra security is there because they're just not feeling that they can manage it themselves. So we've asked Planned to really step it up. And that doesn't mean that before no one cared. However, if they know your housekeeper, Susan, and she's been coming for 15 years, Tom is going to recognize her, wave to Susan, and she's going to come in because he knows her. She's been coming here for many years. However, these new guards don't know Susan. Or maybe you have terminated Susan, or you don't feel well and you don't want her to come today. When you call the gatehouse or you call the management office, we make notes on your account that identify, I don't want Susan to come in today, or please call before Susan comes in today because I might not be home. They need to check that every time a guest comes in. That is happening now. So you are seeing longer waits. I've been watching I have a camera so I can see the line at the gatehouse and I can also see as cars come through. The cars are moving. They're not staying there for 10 or 15 minutes. If you want guests to get in faster, the best thing you can do is let us know that you're expecting someone, because then they don't have to call you when the person comes. So in the morning, oh, I'm expecting a delivery today from Peapod. I'm expecting my house cleaner Susan. And then they know and they can send them on their way. If you want to call, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what they're there for. But that is what the line is for. They are checking, they are verifying, they are making sure that the people coming into this community are supposed to be here. So I do ask that even though there's new hires, I don't want people to think that this is all training new hires. We're retraining previous staff as well with some increase in enhanced procedures so that they can check the computer, that they can call the homeowners and make sure that everybody is supposed to be here.
Okay. Could you wait for open forum, please? What? Please.
An
this
open-
man-
I'll answer it
Rita,
open forum.
This gentleman asked before and I asked him to please wait, and see, he's smiling because he remembered. So please just wait. Thank you. I know, do anyone on the board have a comment regarding this? I have had occasion to be in half a dozen of the communities within the last week or two. I was not pleased that I drove into one community and said, hi, I'm going to the nurse's office. And they said, okay. And off, which is where I was going, but that's beside the point. And when I got to the door, the gatehouse, the door into the clubhouse wasn't locked either. And I pushed the open door button and I went. I went to a couple of communities where it was closer to what we're trying to do. And I think it's a situation where that is not always easy. I'm much happier when I pull up to the gate and I can just go on through. We'll see how this works and we'll adjust as we need to, or as best we can. We appreciate hearing what's happening as well, in case we miss it. We have the last item on new business is the parking rules for Whittingham, for WOA, and the condominium parking rules that will begin on 5/15/23. I'm assuming we have all read them. May I have a motion? May I have a motion to approve? May I have a second? Is there any discussion on the motion? Okay, I don't think, Jamie, you didn't leave copies at the front for people to pick up.
Not until you voted on them, no. So usually we
Okay.
read them and then once you
Okay,
approve them, I
it's
send
not
them out.
that. I want people who want to know what they are. So you
I
will,
can put copies out as soon as you vote, they can take them with them.
I still think people, I would like, do you mind if I read them? Will you bear with me for a minute? Okay, I'll share it. So it's not just my vote, my voice, all right? We begin with, because they're long, so bear with me. Guest vehicles shall be parked in guest parking spaces only. And that would occur mostly in Whittingham, where there are guest parking spaces. And guest parking is limited to 48 hours unless there is prior approval. Homeowners whose guests will be staying for more than 48 consecutive hours must submit a request for a temporary parking permit at the gatehouse. All residents and their guests must observe speed limit throughout the homeowners association's common areas, streets, and parking areas at all times. Garages are to be used for vehicle parking. Vehicles owned or used by the homeowner or resident or other members of the household, including residents, live-in caretakers, shall be parked in the resident's garage. Any vehicle too large to be parked in the garage must be parked in the resident's driveway. Homeowners and residents shall not park their vehicles in common parking lots except for short, non-recurrent periods of time. Temporary parking, requests must be submitted in writing for temporary guest parking. They're required for overnight parking in the common parking areas. No vehicle shall be left in the common area parking space in a non-operative condition or covered at any time. Vehicle maintenance, non-routine vehicle repair, maintenance work, or restoration is prohibited. Routine work includes changing oil, radiator fluid, etc. Owners of cars that drip oil onto common area streets or driveways shall be required to reimburse the association for any associated repair and cleanup costs caused by the leaking fluids. Commercial vehicles, I see her head is nodding in front of me. No commercial vehicle may be parked or stored anywhere on common area streets. Commercial vehicles are defined as any vehicle which reasonably appears to be primarily used for commercial purposes. Recreational vehicles, no trailer, camper, boat, non-street legal vehicle, motorhome, or similar vehicle, or any inoperable, unlicensed, or unsightly vehicles or equipment will be permitted to remain within or in view of the common area, except for temporary loading and unloading purposes. Now we come to the town center. Long-term parking permit requests must be submitted in writing. Long-term parking permits are for residents only. Long-term parking permits may be granted for RVs and recreational vehicles, commercial vehicles, and a household with more than 2 vehicles. All long-term parking permits require proof of insurance and registration annually. No more than 1 long-term parking permit per household. Vehicles must fit into no more than one parking space, in the town center lot. Long-term parking permits designate a space number in the red 2 lot. Want the red sign? Okay. The fee for a designated long-term parking space in the town center lot is $50 per month, beginning June 15th, 2023. I'm a little afraid. All vehicles parked in the community must have a current registration, insurance, inspection, and license plates. Please.
I have a question, and that is, if a person, we don't allow, my understanding is we don't allow commercial vehicles to be parked in driveways. So if a person, am I wrong? In driveway, if a person brings home a vehicle.
Correct.
Right, in their, from their employment. Okay, that's what I'm saying. If a person brings a commercial vehicle back and forth from their employment, they cannot put it in their driveway. They have to park it in the town center, long-term parking permits, and pay for the monthly fee. Okay.
Correct. Anyone else have a question? Any other board member have a question about that? And for the unspoken question of some people who asked what we're doing about the long-term parking lot, it is the vehicles are going to be moved. There is landscaping going there so that it will look better. I knew you were going to ask me that question. I knew that. So Any other, have a question about it? May I have a motion? So now I'd like to, yes, Larry, sorry. Oh, I left something off. Look what I did. Back of the page, storage. Oh, I'm sorry. Vehicles parked in the homeowners association's parking area shall be used on a regular vehicle basis. Storage of vehicles in the same parking space longer than 22 consecutive hours is prohibited. Penalties, there will be a $10 fine per day, cost of reparation, possible suspension of barcodes and ID cards, as well as suspension from homeowners association activities. In other words,
On the back.
on the very back, I missed the two.
Oh.
Sorry, they didn't.
It looks a little different for all of you. Everyone is going to get a copy once this
Once it
passes.
passes,
Every
you'll get
homeowner
a
will get a copy.
May I have a vote, please? Michelle? We have a motion on the floor. We had a second on the motion. May we have a vote, please?
Miriam Cohen,
Yes.
Tom Cole,
Yes.
Gail Alpern,
Yes.
Karen Schoenberg,
Yes.
Larry Rosen, Sergi Mandu.
We pass, yes? Yes. Comment? Yes.
Just one comment, which is, this is not unusual, meaning other associations, homeowners associations do this. We haven't had fees for people who are parking in the lots. And this is meant, obviously, years and years and years have gone by. And so now it's just a normal routine. It's not like we're doing something that other places are not.
I think when I moved here, there were not as many people who chose to avail themselves of having a recreational vehicle. And as RVs have become more popular, they have, and people enjoy them, they proliferate. I've now told two people to wait. Now we're up to three, please. Now it's coming soon. It won't be long. All right. We have an update on our FWH issue. Who wishes, which three of you went to that meeting? Who wants to talk about it?
Another meeting or the first? one?
I'll talk about it. We have finally received a letter from FWH, which we haven't as a board discussed yet. The last letter we got from them. My personal opinion is I'm not very pleased with it. We're still looking for compensation from FWH. They have offered some credits against future work or work that they're now doing. Not pleased with that, but nevertheless, they are looking at the things that we have discussed and complained about to them. And they are offering suggestions on how to correct, for example, the burst piping situation that we had. That's being addressed throughout our whole building here. And there are a couple ways that it can be corrected. I won't bore you with that, but that has not been finalized yet. There's also the condensation that we were experiencing in the pool area. They're addressing that. I don't know if we told everyone at the last meeting, but one of the reasons was that there was an exhaust fan that was not reconnected when all the construction was done. So that has been reconnected. Not sure what the outcome is yet, but we're working on it. Want everybody to know that we're keeping FWH's feet to the fire, and we will do what's best for the community for sure.
Oh, yes, the locker room floors we have purchased. I'm sorry again. All right. We have purchased a product to apply to the locker room floors. Our staff will apply it, and it is supposedly very good at helping people not slip and keeping the easier for people, safer for people who are using the facilities. We have a date, we have the product in-house, Jamie? I thought I saw it.
But it's been ordered.
Been ordered? Okay, I didn't see it then. Okay, saw another. So as soon as it comes in, it will be applied. And what will it take, a day or? What's the process like, Jane?
The staff will need to do a thorough cleaning of the floors with some special solution to make sure there's no previous cleaning product on it. Get all of the edges, they'll tape off all the edges, and then this is just a multi-layer application that they put down. So each locker room will be closed for a couple days, so we'll do what we did in the past. We'll do one locker room at a time, and we'll make sure that we alternate men's and women's hours for whatever locker room is open, so that no interruption of use of the pool will take place. But it will take a full 3 days for each application to completely cure.
Thank you. Electronic voting. We have a revised motion on that, please. Oh, yes, we did. I'm sorry. You can talk right into that microphone.
We, and just in case anybody didn't hear it at the last meeting, we have sent out to everyone the electronic voting motion that we're about to do. And all I can say is it will definitely help with future elections. And it'll make it a lot easier on everyone. For those people who can't do electronic voting, they can vote like they always did. So in general, that's what this motion is about.
Mary updated the electronic voting policy and she wanted you to read it into the minutes.
Okey-dokey. Must be on my, I didn't realize she did that. What I have on my condominium rules. Not on mine, Jane. Didn't have it. Bear with me a minute. I'm sorry. I did not see it. in my
Want me to
packet.
read it?
I do, because I don't see it in my own packet here. Please.
Second, turn into the page.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So amendment to bylaws, Article 3, Section 3, the following amendment to bylaws, Article 3, Section 3 is approved. Explanation of the amendment. The amendment updates the notice requirement as mandated by law for trustee elections. It also modernizes the bylaws by authorizing the use of electronic vote for annual member meetings. Those members who do not use email or have access to a computer can receive notices another way. Bylaws Article 3, Section 3 currently reads, the secretary shall mail notices of annual meetings to each member. It's going to be updated to say that you will be given notice not less than 10 days. So if you opt in for electronic notices, you don't necessarily have to receive things via standard mail anymore. And this will save the association a considerable amount of money. However, if you're not comfortable with that, you'll continue to receive them in the mail.
And we did discuss this at the last meeting. Does any board member have a question about it now? I have a motion to that effect, please.
Motion to approve.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
Roll call.
Yep. Miriam Cohen,
Yes.
Tom Cole,
Yes.
Gail Alpern.
Yes.
Karen Schoenberg,
Yes.
Larry Rosen, Surjit Sandhu.
Thank you. Motion passes. Please remember committee updates, budget and finance. Your enhanced report, Sean, right?
Budget and finance has not met.
Yeah.
Until.
Sean has information he wants to share.
So I spoke with Stan Gross, the Budget and Finance Committee at length last week. We are going to get together here in the next couple of weeks, and then we're going to have a full committee meeting in mid-May. I believe it's the third or the second full week of May. And at that point, we'll go over anything that's left from 2022, the first quarter of 2023, as well as review the capital reserve studies as an entire group. And then we'll move forward from there and actually start to get ready for July for the budget process. We've already begun the budget process, so I'll have an update 2024 budget process So I'll have an update for them on that as well, as there's several key components that we're seeing drastic increases industry-wide again. And we're gonna take a look at it and see where we're at and see what we can do as far as insurance and the capital reserves. And as far as insurance, if we need to go out to bid to try to find a vendor that's not as what the correct word here is. It's hard. It's a tough time in this industry because of the massive amount of events that have been taking place between the freezes. We're all looking at increases across the board, our home, auto, business, umbrella, everything, all walks of insurance are going up drastically. So we're going to look for a vendor that maybe suits us a little bit better. Maybe can customize the product for us better. We'll do our best to try to find a way to restrict the increases as much as possible.
Sean, we had a major fire with flood. How
So,
likely as it is, you think that someone will bid on us?
well, no, it's not even that at this point, because those are built into previous policy years. We're talking about nationally, between all of the natural disasters and again, the massive freeze events that we've had. And it's just not, from the insurance industry standpoint, has been too eventful not to pass on the increases. So we're going to be looking at that again. So this is not even an internal increase due to claims. This will be external throughout the nation and throughout the industry. I mean, just from a personal note, I got my homeowner's insurance. I have 0 claims in 3 years. It went up 20%. I got it last week. So everybody's going to start to see this, and it's unfortunate, but they have us, right? They dictate and they have us. There's not much we can do. So, all right, but we'll go over that with the committee and then hopefully have some ideas.
And then I know we always have a budget meeting. I really hope that everyone is able to calendar it into their calendar and has, questions or comments about it, that we get a good discussion about what it is community has to do next year. Thank you, Sean. Covenants Committee. Karen, you went to
Okay.
why don't you report it?
I substituted for Tom as the liaison. There was a meeting of the Covenants Committee of a couple, and we met with them and we sent them our decision to them.
Thank you.
It's confidential, so I can't go into the details.
Entertainment, am I right?
Hi, everybody. I'm lucky enough to have Kristen and Monica. So being on the entertainment committee has always been a pleasure. Been doing that for about 15 years. All I can sort of do is encourage you to come to our shows because they've been terrific this year and they're going to continue to be. So we thank you for coming. And if you've never tried us, please do. Again, we're not at the high school anymore, but our shows have been selling out. So this is great news. Next, again, because I'm also the liaison to the landscaping committee, and that is brand new for me this year. Enjoying that a lot. Excited about black mulch. This is the kind of person I am, which is that my own garden at home, meaning my front lawn, gets a change of flowers depending upon the time of the year. And now I have a chance to be part of the committee to decide what's happening now. Although a liaison is supposed to just sit there and say nothing, I have to say once in a while, I do say something. And we're going to have the best flowers that we can. I also want to say that I'm learning a lot. And for example, this year we had daffodils. The daffodils didn't do very well. The heads kind of, if you want to say, folded up. And I was like, why would we pick those? Well, we try something and it doesn't always work. And so I had to learn that little lesson, which is every now and then you try something that doesn't work and you don't do it again. So we're not going to do daffodils. There'll be other flowers that last better during winter freeze, such as pansies, for example. So again, it's a learning experience. It's fun. And I hope the flowers all look pretty this year.
Thank you. Safety Committee. It's your turn.
That's me. Well, part of what's been happening with the safety committee has already been discussed. And our meetings, unfortunately, are this coming Thursday, the next meeting. The pedestrian walkway has been discussed. And as you heard Miriam talk about before, we really would like to see that happen for a couple of reasons. One, I think it will force people to slow down, or at least I hope so. It also helps to, it doesn't eliminate, but it helps the site triangle issues that we have on a couple of our cross streets. But I think that in general, that will be a big plus. The enhanced security features at the gate, we've also discussed and have, we want to get, as I mentioned at the last meeting, we would like to at some point get our security people trained in the use of the radar guns, which we do have. We're also going to be giving them a little more authority to issue not summonses, citations, or whatever we call them to people. And we're changing, we're recommending changing up security's schedule, driving through the community. At certain times, maybe there'll be parking in areas that people are speeding a lot to try to slow things down a bit. And as I said at the last meeting, the last thing, we don't want to make enemies. The last thing we need to do is to create a big uproar in the community about this, but it's gotten to be such an enormous problem. It is dangerous. People fly by my house all the time, and I'm tired of yelling, but hopefully everybody will get the word out, spread the word that we're paying more attention, and we're taking the steps necessary to correct it. We don't want to get to a point where we have discussed at the last meeting, speed bumps or other methods that people, no one wants, but if we can't do all this voluntarily, we'll have to take that step. And of course, police is the last thing anybody wants in our community. So we avoid that at all costs. But generally speaking, we also have, and Jamie has gone out for pricing on a lot of new signs, with some with sayings on them, some with just making stop signs more obvious. We've also heightened some of the signs that we put up, the ones that were able to be moved, the portable ones, to get to an acceptable level so people can see what they are. In general, that's about it. And hopefully I'll have more to tell you at the next meeting.
I have a point to make. I know the site review committee is working very hard, and there are members from both Whittingham and Greenbrier on both. But when you, am I correct that you will be presenting the boards of both WOA and Greenbrier a sheet of recommendations before things are done, so that the board can vote on it?
Of course.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it's not a committee. The committee makes recommendations to the boards and explain. Yes, wanted to make sure every.
As a comment, 4 adult communities, 2 adult communities now decided that they couldn't control speeding on their own, and they have gone for what's called, the police department is going to be doing the Title 39 enforcement for them. 2 more adult communities have applied to the police department to have that occur as well. Where there was a meeting, I think it was earlier this month, of representatives from all of the adult communities in town. And they were discussing the fact that this is what they've decided to do because residents are not following the rules and people are getting hurt. And in addition, Regency also put in speed bumps or speed humps or speed. There's a variety of names, speed table, lower and lower, that they do. I think at the next meeting we have with that group, which will be here, in our community, we will get some more information about how they are managing and how it's working. You know, what they're attempting to do. It's happening and kind of was surprising, you know, and it was happening in every community. There was a major accident in the ponds last week. Someone was transported to the hospital. So they survived and they're fine, but we really, all of us, I think everyone sitting here is concerned. We all see the cars speeding down the roads. And one of my neighbors stands in the middle of the road and goes, "Hey," but she's a lot taller than I am. So I'm not sure that someone could see me, but it really is an issue, folks. And we're taking it seriously. We need all of us to be taking it seriously if we're going to get this resolved the way we want. We did talk about the recreational vehicle parking, shrub planting and the space numbering and the fees. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, we're good. I just noticed that again. The town center committee, please.
How about the site review committee?
Oh, I thought you were talking about site review. Go on, right, finish.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
was talking about the safety committee. Site review committee met.
Sorry.
That's okay. Met on April 21st. There were 5 new applications involving sliding doors and windows and replacing pavers. They were all reviewed by each member of the committee and they were all approved. There are 2 inspections that have to be done and will be done shortly. And that's what we're right up to date. I'm very proud of that.
Why not? Town center, please. Anybody, Jen? Oh, thank you, Monica. Appreciate that. You volunteered.
We only had a show up. As a result of that, it's kind of had budget stuff, but there was really no.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. We're moving to open forum. This gentleman was first. So
Yes.
please go to the microphone and give us your name. Over here. Oh, this side, they moved you. On the
Tom.
left now.
Tom, can you push the button on that microphone for me, pretty please?
Yes, please. Your name and address for our records, please, sir.
Anything to press here?
Oh,
Okay, hello, can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
I can think.
Your name, please, sir.
Yes, my name is Chinmay Das and I live at 81 Birmingham Lane. We moved here last year, around July of 2022. Right from the beginning, we noticed, and we have talked about it with casually among our friends, and we talked also with Sujit about a glaring absence of some shrubs on the berms behind our house. The whole is lined up. It's on Half Acre Road, and the cars are speeding by back and forth. And the bad thing is, it's only the 2 well about 10-15 feet wide gaps behind our house. And people keep coming through that, going in and out for dog walking and what have you, which we do not like. So we spoke about it with the management office before. And even I think about a week, 10 days ago, I called up and I think spoke with Jamie. I don't know if she remembers it or not. But I believe I spoke with a person like her with the title of property manager. So I mentioned it and she said, you can come to the meeting and in the open forum, you can speak about it. And that's what I'm doing right now. My purpose is that why should it be different in our area in behind our house than the rest of the place? If the berms are missing some shrubs, they should be planted. And they should be planted soon. So I was told that it will be probably discussed and done in the coming fall. What happened last fall? Why it wasn't not done last?
Miriam?
I'm going to ask, I believe that the area of the berms and where you live will fall under the jurisdiction of the Greenbrier Board.
Is
Because the president of the Greenbrier Board is sitting here very quietly. He is now aware of your concern. And I am sure that they will discuss what their land, the next meeting of the both boards together is when, Mark?
May 20.
May 24th. So it will be on the agenda for the discussion and perhaps they will have some resolution for you.
yes.
May
resolution,
23rd.
What I was
Correct.
directed to, the
Correct.
resolution would be probably taking place in fall.
I-
with the
I-
ideal time for
Correct.
planting.
Correct.
But my question is, do we have to wait till fall?
And I'm
something-
your concerns are on our minutes. Mark is here hearing them and we can be certainly addressed at by them.
Yeah,
Okay?
I suggest that any of the board members or somebody takes.
We
a
take a drive. We
walk
all
and
live here.
go
Yes.
Check it out.
Yes.
And in addition to this concern that I have,
Huh.
the other concern is that the pitch there is very low, so there's a lot of water logging. And nothing has been done. We have addressed it before to the management office
Okay.
and nothing has been done.
And that will, as I said, be discussed then. All
Very
right.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're
for
welcome.
listening.
Thank you. You too. Rita, yes, your name and address, please.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Rita Perlman, 11C Rutland Lane. I'm here to talk or complain about the gutter cleaning for Whittingham. I was very disappointed to hear that you had hired the same company that was here last time because they did such a poor, incomplete job. They were really incompetent. And I really was hoping that you would choose somebody else. The residents of Whittingham pay an enormous amount of monthly maintenance, and we deserve to be provided with a company that really knows how to clean gutters professionally. They need to know that our houses have gutters in the front and the back of the house to be cleaned. And I'm saying this because it happened to me. I was home when they were cleaning the gutters to my house. They came to the back. They were there for 10 minutes, a little slipshod job. And I was waiting for them at the front to talk to them, but they disappeared. They never came back to the front of my house. So I had to call and once again, register a complaint. When they came back the next day or 2 days later, they went to the wrong home. And the way I know they went to the wrong home was because I was chatting with some neighbors on the street, and one of them is actually here today. And she pointed out that they were going back to her house where they had already cleaned the gutters. So if I wasn't there and she didn't point that out to me, I would never know that they didn't come back to clean the front of my house. Individual homeowners really need to be notified of the date and the time that these people are coming to clean, because I, as my neighbors, would like to be home when they come so that we make sure that they do the front of the house and the back of the house. And if they can't be home, we need to have them leave a tag on the door in the front, like they used to do with the
I just keep going. I know
the
the words you've lost. Yes.
exterminator, thank you.
Yes, the exterminator leaves the tag.
Mhm.
Yes.
Right, which was very good because we then knew that they were there. And I would appreciate it if you would consider another company next time. These gutters need to be cleaned every year. In fact, I took pictures on my phone of the last rainstorm that we had of my gutters in the front. You cannot even see outside the window. That's how bad the gutters are in Whittingham. They're very old. They have holes in them and they're not redirecting to the downspout anymore. And I hear this complaint constantly. But again, these people need to know that there are gutters in the front of the house and the back of the house.
Jamie, is there a method by which we can arrange to have people notified when? the
Yes,
gutter
I
cleans?
feel, I would, yeah.
She's asking
Okay.
me, Rita.
Okay, thank you.
So we can talk about this with the board offline a little bit, but just briefly, in a condo association for exterior work, we notify the homeowners, we give a date range. I can't set up an appointment. The cost would be exponentially more for me to try to set something up with each homeowner. So it's weather permitting and they're beginning May 3rd, which I sent out. So I'm giving a time frame. Takes about a week to do the entire community. Again, it's weather permitting. So if we have rain one day or one afternoon, it will adjust. So I can't give you a firm time. We will follow up with them. They came back for any instances we asked them to come back for last time. I know, I understand they made a mistake. I'm not telling you they didn't. No one is perfect. This is the cost for them is $5,000 to $6,000 less than any other company. You said, well, hang on, before you shake your head at me, just let me answer because you came with a concern. So I want to address the concern.
Yeah, but
Ju-
keep it.
Wait. Just let me
Just
finish.
I'll tell you what, let me say the let's wait and let's not wait. Jamie, finish, then you get to respond.
The company is Garden State Gutter Cleaning. It's all they do. So you had said you want a professional gutter cleaner. So I want you to know that's all they do. And it's something that was done in-house, but it was tough because it would be, there's big trees on one building and not another. We do one and then a week later come back to do the neighbor. It was inefficient and it was costing the condo owners more. So this is a much more cost-effective way. I will make sure that we check in on them more. I hear what your concerns are. I can't give you an appointment, but I can tell you that we will follow up. And if anyone has a concern, they come back to us at no charge.
All right, Jamie, my next, the second piece of that is it possible for the company to leave the door tag like my exterminator leaves to me regularly?
I can
That they
ask-
were there.
I can ask them, but they don't do, it's not like the exterminators, let's say they have 40 houses out of 413 to go to. The gutter cleaners are going to 100% of the homes, just like the power washers
But you
do.
can ask.
I will ask, yes.
Okay.
Okay,
You can ask.
Jamie, just another thing, your email to us, I think said May 1st that they're starting. And
I'll double check, but yes,
Okay.
so I do send it out with a time frame,
Yeah,
as you said.
the other thing is that I don't need, if you say to them, houses on Whittingham Drive, 1 to 10, May 3rd, then those houses will be home, those people.
I understand what you're saying, but the company, they don't work with appointments like that. And also, again, it's weather permitting. I really try, I send out communications to the condos all the time with alarm inspections and paving. I give you as many dates as I can, but not every service. In a condo, you're a part of a building with many units. It's not like a single family. It's difficult. We will do our
But
very best.
Just remind them that we have.
I understand. I heard everything you said.
And the other question, just quickly about the security. If we have everybody in my family in permanent file at security, do I still need to call in before?
No, they will check their ID to
Yeah.
make sure that, but no, you do not need to call.
You don't have to. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Your name and address for our record, please. Ellen Panzer Schwartz, 19 London. So first of all, I'd like to say that I'm very proud to become a committee member so that I can help this community. And so I feel very personally involved, and I joined the town center committee. And we had a meeting, which I assumed was a meeting, and Monica just announced was just a gripe session. We had 7 people there. I'm not sure I understand why it wasn't a meeting. Hang on, I don't believe that I in any way. I hate these microphones. Yeah.
I don't believe that I in any way. Wait. Do they have better?
We can hear you.
is.
All right, I don't believe in any way, shape or form did I say it was a grape session. It was not a meeting because the chairman was not there. The WOA committee person was not there. So it was not an official meeting.
Okay, that wasn't announced at our meeting, so I assumed.
I believe at the meeting, I said, listen, we will continue. If anybody has anything they want to talk about, we'll talk about it. I'm pretty sure those were my exact words.
No, that wasn't. But again, it felt like we were just telling you things that were wrong. You were telling us, well, it's taken care of, or we're looking into it. We really didn't get feedback, and I'm not sure why we're a committee if it's really being done by you, and then we just get to gripe. My problem is that you're now saying that you're laying down a new kind of anti-slip surface. That certainly was something that came up in our meeting, brought up by us about the people slipping. Nobody even mentioned this. I'm sort of surprised that our committee, which should be the ones that know about this ahead of time, so maybe we can figure out, does it really work? We're being told that the tiles are non-slip, and I'm watching it like it's, all right, comedy show in there.
I'm going to tell you to get to your question. You have a question or suggestion for what it is you're looking to have happen?
Well, here's my thing. Number one, I didn't know it was not an active committee, and it wasn't said, and we certainly had several people there. My other thing is we talked about the problem with the floors, and yet you have a solution here that was never even brought up in the committee that I would think would be discussing whether non-slip works versus mats versus whatever. So am I wrong to say that that's a committee's job is to have some input?
The committees always have input, and usually the committee chair gives a report to the board.
Who is our chair that wasn't there?
Lolly, right.
Do we have someone if there's
You have
chair
a vice chair.
and who is that?
I don't know who the vice, I don't remember. Is it? No? There is no vice chair.
Okay, so please make in the minutes for our next meeting that we elect a vice chair so that a meeting is always considered
Well,
an
you're chair.
active committee meeting.
It also does not mean that if real concerns had been brought up, that they would have been denied airing. I was not at a board meet or that the board would not have been made aware of it because you did not have the chair present. We would hear, tend to hear, hopefully, almost everything. I didn't know that the town center committee was not aware that the board was looking into that. We've been looking into something or having management look into it for the last few months. And the last couple of meetings I went to, we checked out bathrooms and locker rooms.
No, I know that we've
Clubhouses.
talked about it.
Yes,
However,
we have.
at our committee, nothing was
Okay.
brought up about this.
Well, it was perhaps if the chair had been present, she would have brought it up on the agenda, and she did not. Normally, the chair will discuss with the agenda is not made in a vacuum.
Right, but we did have an
But it did
agenda.
not
I'm
happen.
just saying, we did have an
It
agenda.
was not there, and I'm sorry for that.
Okay.
Miriam? It's me. I just wanted to clarify. The meeting wasn't a formal meeting because you didn't have a quorum, not just because the chair wasn't present. So just.
How many people are on that committee?
Do you know how many total? I don't know if that's.
We had 6 or 7 people
Would you,
there.
I'll tell you what, I request that you know that you didn't have a quorum and accept that number since no one seems to remember exactly how many people are on town.
I'd like to
center
know what we
district.
need because I'll make sure we have a
Fine.
quorum next
Yes,
time.
that'd be very good. And you can certainly speak with Lolly
Okay,
and see if she would like some support in assuring that people are coming to the meeting and that issues you're concerned about are on the agenda.
okay.
The agenda is not made up by her alone. Okay?
Yep.
Thank you.
Kathy Clark and Gleason, 77D
Yes,
Winthrop.
Kathy.
All I want to say is yes to the pedestrian walkway.
Oh, that was quick. Good morning.
Maria DeLucia, 85A Winthrop. Thank you for addressing the safety issues in the locker room. I was wondering if you had any more information on the non-slip coating that would be applied and what assurance we have that this would actually work.
I'm going to send that to the people who spoke to the vendors because.
I do have it and I shared it with the board. If you just give me one moment, I'll pull it up.
Thank
Yeah.
you. In the meantime, I'll say yes to the pedestrian walkway.
Okay, good.
I'm
liking
thrilled
it.
to hear
Good.
that there might be something in that
Yeah.
respect. And I also have, while Jamie's looking that up, a question.
Sure.
The temperature issues in the locker room, has that been addressed with the
Help me out with temperature. issues.
how cold the women's locker room is due to the fact that the thermostat is in the men's locker room? And so when the
That's not accurate. There's actually, that's not accurate. There are thermostat set.
Oh, I
points in
like
both.
that.
I'm sorry, that's what I was informed
I'm
when I
sorry. That,
asked.
yeah,
so-
yeah, that's not accurate. There are
Okay.
thermostat set points in both. Miriam, your microphone being so close to hers is why it keeps the feedback. You just have to turn it off. There you go. So there are thermostat set points in both. They're set to 74 degrees. So this is actually the first time I've heard that it's too cold in the ladies' locker room. So I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm looking for that other information. I'll get
Okay.
it.
And I also have a question regarding the women's locker room. We went from 3 bathrooms to 2 bathrooms. And for probably the last month, the 1 bathroom has been out of order. What is our timeline on getting that repaired?
There's an issue with the auto flush. We fixed it a few times, so I'm probably gonna switch that system completely. I'll follow up with him today.
Thank you.
It's gonna give me, I'll read it. You can, if you want to
Okay.
continue with open forum and I'll pull it up.
Just one more question is, have we given a dollar amount of what we're looking to have through the engineering company? You know, have we given them a dollar amount that we want reimbursed?
No, we haven't given them an exact amount. We're waiting to see what they come back with. And then we will talk to them about what we think.
Okay, so you'll let us know sometime going forward.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I have the information, Miriam.
Good morning. Sure.
Okay, so the company, the brand name is Slip Doctors, and it's an anti-slip treatment. They have 2. One is a stone grip, the other is for ceramic tile and floors. So that is the company. The Slip Doctor Stone Grip increases traction to improve safety on a wide range of slippery tiled and stone floors. Non-slip flooring solution is applied and within minutes can improve your grip on a surface even when wet. And there is a list of stone grip guidelines for ADA and OSHA once applied. That's one of the main reasons it was looked at, because it's being inspected by these government associations that we know are really looking into things, and it does not change the appearance in any way. So it's something that it's trial and error, right? You have the mats in the shower area. Mats can be a tripping hazard in their own right. So this is a first step. Hopefully, yes, they're non-slip tiles already, but the feedback was that that wasn't enough. So if this too isn't enough, I know the board said, this is their first step, and if they have to take additional measures, they will.
Yes, good morning. No, it's fine. Good. I'm Elaine Sulkus, 95 Leeds Lane. I have 3 questions. The first, I'd like an update on the improvement of the landscape by the guardhouse. We've been promised it would be looked at. They said it's not very attractive, and I would like to know what's being done.
Landscaping committee meets the last Thursday of the month. So the next one's the end of May. But are you referring to your own home?
No, the entrance, when we
The
come in,
entrance?
we've said, I was here in September. Everybody said they are aware that it is not attractive and they were looking into it, and I wanted to know the update.
Right this second, there is not a plan, which we need to have. We met, again, we had a bit of a problem in that not everyone attended. myself, my husband is actually the chair of the committee. And Jamie was there. We had a few people, but some were missing. And the landscaper himself was not there that day on our first meeting. So we actually, this may make you feel good. I hope it does. My husband and I took about 40 photos. We made a board and we displayed the board of the things we weren't happy with. And it was sort of a show and tell moment, including the front entrance, the stone area behind the guardhouse, and many things that we thought could use improvement. But the actual plan for that improvement is going to take a bit of work. That didn't happen at that meeting.
Okay, because it was said at that time, it is being worked on. So I guess nothing has been done.
Well, what happens to, and again, the patience factor, I'm here 23 years. So patience factor is with you in that we want to see work get done as fast as we can. But what happens is certain times of the year, certain plantings take place, just like a tree or a shrub has to be done in the fall. So even though we want speedy, sometimes we don't get speedy depending upon what time of the year it can be planted. We also, again, need what I would call a drawing, a plan, so that we don't just be helter-skelter. And that's still to come.
Okay, thank you. The second question is. Let Tom answer.
If I can add to that, I was the liaison last year.
Mhm.
And we did come up with, actually, we talked to LMS about this. They did come up with a plan because that area is very difficult to deal with for a number of reasons. LMS came up with a new design. And if we wanted to implement that design, it would cost about $30,000. So for the moment, we've kind of put that on hold. But there are a number of ways that can be dealt with. Unfortunately, they're all very costly. And we appreciate as much as you do that it really doesn't look very, very
Doesn't
good. So we're trying to do something about it. We do have designs. I'm sure Gail and her husband will come up with some new ideas, but we're trying to deal with it.
Thank you. My second question is not costly. The card room near the nurse. Thank you. You painted it. That looks great. New window treatment. That looks great. The walls are bare. Home goods, very cheap. Can't we get something on those walls to make it a little homier? Does it have to be so stark with nothing on the walls?
We'll add that to the next agenda for town center as well.
Right, please. I mean, offices and homes have pictures on the wall. That has nothing. Anything. Third, the restaurant. I don't know the restaurant. I don't know here, all the people here, but I would love to have a show of hands of the people who are happy with the restaurant the way it is. Who's unhappy? Unhappy. Thank you. And I think most of the community is
Okay, so
unhappy.
All right, well, there are no more. I will speak for myself. Well, yes, I am, but that's beside, no, what I'm happy about is that I get my bagel, I heard that. But in addition to that, we as a board over the last few years have had absolutely no success in getting any restaurant that wants to come here. Nobody likes, we lost our restaurant when the pandemic started, which before that, we have regularly lost more providers than I have digits on my two hands. And the result is always the same. One, they don't make any money. Two, residents are complaining all the time. And three, unfortunately, residents are rude. And no one wants to hear that their neighbor didn't behave well because they're always sure they were never the person that was rude. But that's been the bottom line that we've heard. So when the pandemic came and we lost the restaurant, when when it seemed like the world was beginning to return to some semblance of normalcy, the board went out and again, tried to find someone to come that would be willing to come here. And we found no one. We have spoken, I'm making a fist, not at you because it's so frustrating. We've spoken to restaurant brokers. We've had residents who've approached restaurateurs and they give us phone numbers and the restaurateurs get called. Are you interested? And no, they're really not. We have gone to eat in some restaurants where it sounded like someone might be interested in coming. They don't wish to come. We made more than one offer to a local community, to a local place, and they keep saying no. We are not a profit-making business to them. Don't have walk-through traffic. This is basically for our community and maybe some guests. So we were always, as a community, everyone enjoyed using Business Bistro for the functions. I'm talking longer than everyone says I should talk. So Business Bistro was willing to go into an arrangement with us where at least we would have something. At least we would have something. The goal was that if people began using the facility, if as business increased, hours would increase. I was just in there the other day, having a day. I was just in there the other day and the topic came up that maybe once or twice a week, begin offering an early dinner, setting out a juice bar for by the pool, outside for the outside area. Business does seem to be a little better. So I'm really sorry if everyone's unhappy. I live here and I relied on our restaurant a lot over the years. I don't have an answer. Residents call us and say, you didn't talk to me, I have a restaurant for you. But rather than my just repeating myself, they're here because no one else that we were able to find was interested in coming. Nobody, no one at all. So help me out here.
Am I on the mic? Yeah.
I hope so.
Okay, just very quickly, we appreciate that you tried, but you failed. You failed the community and whatever it is.
Can I ask a question? Just
Sure.
to try to, I often ask the residents that come to me with concerns, what are the solutions you're looking for so that I can actually try to get you a productive response? So what is it that you're not getting from the restaurant that you would like?
It's not me personally, it's the community,
No,
everybody I
no,
speak
well, you're
to.
the one who's at the microphone. So instead of, they can all come on up and speak, but
I
what-
wish they would. I
okay,
wish
so
more
if
people
you
would
could
come and
tell
say,
me a few things that you
it doesn't,
need.
it's not inviting. It's not
What's
inviting.
not inviting, because nothing in the aesthetics has changed. The restaurant,
Oh.
we provide the restaurant, so the facilities are what they were.
Jamie.
previous. I would like to give Georgia a few ideas of what she's looking for.
First of all, the hours aren't particularly good.
not
There's
long
no
enough.
breakfast now.
So you want breakfast?
Well, that.
I'm gonna make notes
Uh,
for him, so.
When you have to eat with plastic food, a plastic spoon for soup, that's not what we're used to. It's just not inviting. It doesn't feel like the other restaurants that have been here.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Because it's
And-
not.
Right,
It's
so
not, it's more
maybe
cafe
nothing
stuff.
would be better than this.
Well, I don't know.
I
of
don't know.
nothing.
I don't know. Maybe it should be polled. Maybe we should be asked. We had a big turnout when we were asked whether we can supplement a
Correct.
restaurant. So many people can.
Right.
Maybe if you had a meeting and asked the residents what they want, maybe that
Okay.
would help. I don't know. I don't have an
I
answer.
know that the last meeting we held 2 sessions. We had over 600 people at
Right.
one.
So people are interested
And
in a
no,
restaurant.
they didn't wish, they were very concerned that we wish to assess everyone
Right.
a sum of money was the reason everyone came. Certainly, Jamie, you have suggestions you'd like to send, that's fine. But if nobody, Rita's nodding ahead of me, but if nobody comes in and eats, no one comes in and eat, and the sufficient number of residents aren't there, there's not much incentive for someone. I would like it to look more inviting. There is,
know what
and we
I-
have been talking about that. Some people said to me that they were thrilled that we had rest food delivery and that the
I'm
food was
sure.
good. And that was helpful. But this is a long running problem. I have lived here like you for a very long time. And we have met and said goodbye to many, many restaurant operators here. And the answers we get from them are always the same, always the same. So maybe this time, at some point down the road, we will get a
How
different
long is
set.
the contract for this restaurant?
Pardon?
How long?
It's,
is the
he has a
contract?
what, I think it was a 1-year contract and it's breakable at any, with appropriate notice. It is not something long-term. We always have like a 30-day opt-out to get out of a contract. There's nothing that we're locked into in that way. I think that your concerns are certainly valid to you. I don't, and this board hasn't found a way out. Previous boards I've been on haven't found a way out. So maybe in the coming year, we'll get a way out. You're welcome.
Good morning, Lisa Baruch, 43 Winton's Way. I have a few items I wanted to discuss. The positives first, wanted to personally thank Monica for putting together the Yankee trip and the Broadway show trip, which I'm leading. So please come if you haven't already paid. Definitely like the pedestrian walkway idea, because Wayne and I walk a lot. So I think that would be a good idea, provided that the speed limit and people obey the speed limit in here. Because there's a lot of older residents who cannot get out of the way in time. I also wanted to know if the non-slip material will be installed in the outdoor pool house, because that floor is very slippery.
The restrooms out there? Is that what you
Yeah.
mean? I don't see why it couldn't be if the board they're small. I don't think that's an issue.
Okay. And the other important issue was facilities here are for everyone's use. So you can't come in and tell somebody to get out of your room. And I had that incident the other day. I reported it to management, didn't appreciate it. Hoping that people will not be so rude because this facility belongs to all of us. So thank you for your time and thank you again, Monica.
Alan Hermley, 5 York Court. I have 3 quick questions. One is just for clarification. When you say walkways, you're talking about painted line, not a sidewalk, correct? The second question is the police. If the police come in here to enforce speed, do we have to pay for that, or is that? No.
You need to turn your microphones on at the board.
My understanding that the communities are paying for it. What you have to do is get your community in a state, your roads and your walk in a state that the police will take it over. In other words, you have to have appropriate signs, like our handicap signs are not legally what they're supposed to be. You have to have other intersection improvements, yay or nay, and I'm not familiar with them by a list. So you have to pay for all of that to have the police agree to come in.
Okay, okay. And my last comment and question is, B Bistro, they have about a half a dozen trucks in our parking lot, visitor parking lot. And with respect to the new parking policy, how will they be treated?
They will also be parked where they are now in red lot 2. However, now there will be shrubs that the arborvitae is similar to what masks the landscape area right now, where the landscape trucks are. So they'll be invisible. They'll be assigned certain spaces and they can only be in those spaces.
No,
But-
the number of trucks they're parking will not be reduced. Is that the question you're
Well, and
asking?
also, will they be charged the $50?
They currently have a lease that allows them to park those vehicles. However, when the
Hold
lease
on
is
a
up for
second.
renewal, the board can certainly renegotiate that.
Yeah, and decide to do it a different way.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Susan Kaplan, 67 Dawson Lane. Kind of piggybacking on.
What's
the
up?
previous question.
No,
really
well, if the meeting's over, it's all these
concerned
questions.
about both the
There's some
aesthetics and the
questions that
safety
I'm listening to.
Of
The
the
meeting's
access
basically.
from the parking lot.
When you
to
get
the
a
field.
chance, give me a call
I
back
think
because I
it's
want you to
up
fill me in.
those,
Okay, okay, no
trucks
problem.
get Loaded.
I will,
Thank you.
okay, bye-bye.
And a lot of
Still going on.
activity there, and I'm afraid they're gonna back up on someone. And the pedestrian view is difficult. Looking where to walk and how to access either the golf or the pool area. So I think that really has to be somehow, I don't know if it's hours worth or somebody standing, directing people while they are doing, involving a second person on their part. And the other thing is, over the last 2 years I've lived here, the golf house, the golf, what do you call that? The golf,
pro
store-
shop?
the pro shop. The back of it is so awful. I used to take pictures and send them
To the golf board, please.
to the golf board. Yes.
That is the golf boards. They are.
I understand
Yeah,
that, but
we
I
have no
think,
control.
I don't know who the golf board is.
They are having a
Well-
meeting upstairs right now.
Well, one, they're meeting, so maybe if we finish quickly, you could go back upstairs, but two, Dr. Alan Cooper is
Okay.
president of the golf board and certainly would be interested in hearing your concerns.
Because-
And I must tell you that this is not the first time I have had concern been commented to about areas behind the golf.
I've gotten that
pro shop.
black, the
Yes,
black
yes.
top, but they can put rocks on it. They can do
Right,
something. And I'm
but
heading
we have a
upstairs.
beautiful golf course, so
Thank you.
I think that the golf board should be interested in making that area around the pro shop
It-
good.
it
But
looks
I would
terrible
contact,
For anyone.
absolutely.
Trying to look at our facilities and
No,
going
you're
to the
right.
pool.
You're right, they
Okay.
take everyone right past the
Thank you.
indoor pool. But I would suggest you talk to Dr. Cooper.
Charles LeBeau, 10 Ramsey Way. It bothers me to hear that you are going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to have a company come in and spray the floor in the locker
Not
room and
spending.
other slippery places, when
Not-
you can buy a can of Krylon or other brand non-slip
I'm good.
spray paint and have the maintenance people do it
We are.
themselves.
Sir, we are having our own staff do it. We are not having outside
I
contractors.
heard earlier in this meeting.
No, what you heard is we purchased them, we've ordered the products. And it is our maintenance staff that is going to apply the product.
Okay.
We
thank
are
you.
not, sorry you misheard, my apologies. We
Okay,
weren't
thank you.
clear enough.
Another thing, when are we gonna get the plants back in the community? In here, we had plants in the hallways here that look nice.
We do still have a lot of plants. Unfortunately, we lost some during the fire, but we do still have a lot. We're always, looking, but if you look around, you'll see Tina, who is on the custodial staff. She's the one who takes care of all of the plants. We did lose some during the fire.
And we can have town center committee discuss that and where they would, perhaps what they would like to see. That is within, and so we'll ask that the town center committee take a look at that.
Okay,
Okay, thank
you.
you. You're
Thank
welcome.
Hi, Susan Pilsa, 4 Phillip Court. I wasn't even gonna get up to talk
But
today
go right ahead. Why not?
until someone implied that everybody in the development is unhappy with the bistro.
Okay, she's out of here.
I
She
am not
said-
unhappy. And if they would actually talk to George, George is very willing to
He's a nice man.
try new sandwiches,
Right.
do new things. He's open to ideas.
Yes, he is.
And I'd rather have somebody in there than an
And
empty
nothing.
room.
I agree. So I'm so glad you got up and
Yes.
said that. Yes,
And one more thing,
sure.
what criteria, information, data did we use to change the hours of the pool, the outdoor pool? Why is it closing? It never closed so early before.
The outdoor pool closes 1 hour earlier this year. It was actually voted on when the
We
board
did vote on it.
when
I'm
the board did
sorry.
their contract this year. So last year, it ended up closing early, almost the full last month of the summer because it's too dark for the lifeguards to safely operate. It's also cost and lifeguard. So the board voted to
did.
reduce lifeguard hours in the indoor pool. However, for the outdoor pool, they did not. There'll be a lifeguard present during all operating hours. So cost wise, it will close at 7 because we were closing by 7:30 most nights anyway. We also looked at the sign-in sheet and we rarely had more than 1 or 2 people there after 7 PM. So financially, it just also made sense.
Well, okay,
Find that people are lining up to attend, to want to be at the pool and be there later, then
because
we can deal
why
with
couldn't
that.
how many people actually sign in at 7 o'clock in the morning? The lap swimmers, and how many lap swimmers actually, there's not that many there's not many lanes.
But that's who swims
Whereas-
early.
And I know from last summer, when I couldn't go into the pool when in the heat of the sun for medical reasons, that there are people that first get there at 4:30, 5 o'clock, because that's when a lot of the pool is in the shade. And now they're not gonna be able to stay.
We'll watch the numbers, Susan. We have people sign in, they still
Well, it's not
report
ju-
it.
But it's not just signing.
No,
in.
I didn't
It's a
mean
si-
that.
There's some people.
They
sign in-
know what time
Right.
and we can have some sense of how many, and Monica regularly walks over during the summer season to monitor what's happening. So if we see that we have a lot of people and they need to be there, then we will take care of that.
Okay,
And maybe I'll even get there. It'll be good.
and I will welcome you there.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Name and address, please.
Seal Velasco, 93 Leeds Lane. First, I'd like to thank Monica for procuring the buses to New York City. Kudos to that. And the committee. I have a question for Jamie, but it also pertains to you, Tom, with your committee. I had said a couple of meetings ago that we have a bad situation on Harwood Avenue. Is it Avenue Street?
Oh, Woodward.
Harwood, when you come out and make a left,
And
you
that's right.
cannot see what's
No, you
coming.
can't.
And when you're on Whittingham Drive and you're approaching Harwood,
You still can't
they
see.
come out quickly because they don't see what's out there.
No, you can't.
So the problem is, it's the shrubs. And I addressed this to Jamie. A couple of meetings ago, I had talked to you about it. You said the shrubs were the owners of the house. That is incorrect. Look into it because they're both the same on both sides.
correct.
And they've
They-
been there from the beginning.
Right, so they do belong to the homeowners. They are trimmed and maintained by LMS for aesthetic reasons, but that is their block and lot. We have their surveys. And maybe Tom wants to speak to the visit we paid them with the engineer.
But something has to be done with those shrubs.
Wouldn't it be nice?
It's a safety for us.
Yes.
It's even a bigger problem than the shrubs, that particular area. You have a hill going up on Whittingham and you just can't.
I don't
it's
think
hard
there's a
to
hill
see.
there, Tom.
Right
When you
on
come out of
Harwood
Harwood,
and Whittingham?
when you come out of Harwood, there's no hill.
No, Harwood and Whittingham?
Whittingham Drive, yes.
Yeah, Whittingham is a hill. It goes up at that point, I think, unless I got it all wrong.
It goes up just after Newcastle.
All right, but even, Jamie, even though the owners own those shrubs, it's a safety hazard for us that should be corrected. I mean, if I had a hazard in front of my house, you wouldn't let me keep it, would you?
We have talked to the owners, the homeowners about,
Have you?
both boards have talked to the homeowners, the
what's
Greenbrier
the-
board and us.
And what's the
And
response?
They don't want them down, but I have recently talked to a member of the Greenbrier board and we're going to go back to the homeowners and see if we can't come up with another
Better
solution
solution, yeah.
that'll be acceptable to them. But they do own the property, so it's hard for us to just go in and do anything without their approval.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Were you saying something?
We'll try.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, the other question I have is, how many trucks is, I don't know, a Bistro One, but whatever it's called? How many trucks do they have? I see about 6.
They don't usually.
There are
park-
6 vans.
There are 6.
I'm sorry?
6, right?
Are they allowed to park 6 trucks on our property?
The allow had to do with our ability to get someone to come. They had more, we told them they couldn't park more than 6. And that's what they're using with our permission. When the lease is up, if it is something, and if they are still here, we can renegotiate and talk with them.
Okay, I understand the concern that Elaine had with regard to the bistro. Why are they closed on the weekend?
They are going to be including a weekend day as the season changes.
Yeah.
That was just for the winter.
Right.
Okay, all right, so that would help. A lot of people don't know that.
Well, but now we'll tell them and we'll make sure a notice goes out and that
Okay.
people know that.
All right? Regarding the front entrance. Are you talking about it? What are you doing with
What
this?
we said
It looks
earlier.
terrible, not even the flowers, just the way you come in looks terrible. There's broken bricks there that have been broken for over a month. There's a cone in front of it. What
I-
is happening with that?
I think, Jamie, I noticed the cone the other day. The entrance, they tend to come in and out.
I'll look into it.
Would you please? And I did see it there yesterday.
I know we had a problem before.
I
where there
know
was
we
a
did.
lot
We have
of
a
bricks
problem.
around.
Right.
And I called Jamie. I said, can the bricks at least be taken out of the way? So.
Yeah,
there's a-
they should be. I
It's
don't
terrible.
like, I would be lying if I said I like the way the front entrance looked. I don't. I don't, and I wish we had the funds to just, implement whatever plan the landscapers came up with last year. But we don't, so we're not.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sir?
Good morning, John DeLucia, 85A Winthrop Road. I live by the Newcastle Gate,
Mhm.
and what I am seeing now a lot are contractors driving up onto the library's lawn
Really?
to get in. Yes, you can actually still see,
I'm here.
in the fall, you can see the path they wear out when the grass turns brown. Also, I'm seeing contractors using our barcodes on a card
Certain
to open the
contractors.
gate. So
Yeah.
residents are giving them a card.
There are certain contractors that do have a card to get in because they're coming in for, it would be a temporary card. Jamie can explain that more. So that we don't-
There's no temporary card. So some
Whatever
contract,
you call it.
right. So some contractors have it, like I have a portable because I'm in and out of here all day in different vehicles,
Right.
work vehicles, personal vehicles. The only other people that have portable is if they own a motorcycle. If you own a motorcycle, you can't put a barcode on it. So those homeowners.
So which of
have
our
a portable.
contractors have a card to get in our gate?
They should, I would say 99% of our vendors don't have a.
No, I know
It's
that.
on their vehicle. The only people would be is if they have multiple work vehicles coming in and out, but truly, more often than not, they're all on the vehicles.
Yes, but how many of our contractors is
I-
what the gentleman's
No.
asking?
Right, I don't know off the
The-
top
the
of my
con-
head, but it's minimal.
It's no one that's casual work to us. It's someone who's going to be coming in very frequently for a period of time for a project. And that way it is easier and more effective it's for them to be able to get in and out. But their names would be on a record. It wouldn't be that they're just getting a card.
These are contractors working
In the
people's
community.
houses, not for the
No,
community.
usually so that the community, people
The
work.
community ones have the passes. I know that, like
Yeah, but you're
LMS.
saying,
Yeah,
I'm seeing contractors that are working at
Really?
people's
we,
homes.
we don't give out
We
any
don't give out
temporary
passes.
passes to
The-
contractors.
The
of any
homeowners
type.
are giving it to them.
The homeowners don't have them. We maybe have 10 motorcycles in the entire community. Nobody else has
Okay.
portable passes.
There are some big rocks by that entrance.
There are
It looks like we
boulders.
need-
Yeah,
Looks
yeah,
like we need
huge
a
rock.
few more.
and I'm curious about the contractors trucks going around on the library's lawn. They must love that.
Yes, I do.
We can tell that, yeah, security needs them. We can let the police know.
Okay,
They
thank you.
would ticket them for going on municipal property like that.
And I'm a yes for the walkway.
Thank you. Anyone else have any more questions? Anyone else have any more comments? Yes, Rita.
I can answer that. They have the same, they have to, they don't, but they're supposed to. It's the same speed limit for motorcycles as for cars. Yeah, they don't. I've noticed that also. We need to crack down on all of it.
I've noticed that they don't always follow the lights. I've noticed bicycle outside the community, out of their way because they own the road, right? Anyone else have any comments, questions, or concerns?
Miriam, we have a couple online, pretty
Okay,
quick.
please, Sean, thank you.
The chairs outside the nurse's office, like to see them reupholstered, more of a comment
Okay.
than a question. Bear with me one second. Update on the outdoor pool being fixed,
There is,
renovated, yeah.
we have,
For this summer,
no, there are absolutely no plans to do any work on the outdoor pool in terms of renovation this summer. We have a pool plan. We had paid the architect to do one. I think we discussed it a meeting or two ago. Did we? Losing track of, but there is no budget money to do that right now, so we're not. I mean, that's pretty simple. Yeah. Jay, everyone. Think so. Okay, noted, thank you. Yes. Never can. Yes, I know. Well, it was always really. We can look at it again, yes. Okay, for no money. Good. All right, folks. If I hear and see no other questions or comments, I'm going to call for a motion to adjourn, please. All in favor? Any opposition? No, no abstentions. Thank you all for coming today.